gonna let the band deal with this.
Jimmy Butler puts the Heat back up by one. Adebayo flipping it up and in. Tyler Hero from way downtown. Fantastic play for the first-time All-Star. Hero for three. Yes!
This guy.
That's a tough shot. And the Heat lead by 5.
Led the league in blocks last year, 4th this year. There's nobody blocking that.
Rebound, Adebayo, right over Smart, puts it up and in.
Because right now, the Miami Heat are making sure that their presence is felt.
What's up, y'all? You have the misfortune of not only watching us after a loss, but we don't have our leader, Royal A. Shepherd. So you've got me to deal with tonight. I'm going to be passing the baton around a lot, but I don't even know what to say. This was ugly. I thought I hated watching us against the Pistons, but I wanted no part of this game. Toine, let me start with you. Overall takes, reactions. You look like a happy camper.
Well, overall, I'm disgusted. That may be the worst second half of basketball that I've ever seen a day in my life. Bam Adebayo no longer knows how to catch the ball or turn around and put the ball in the basket. That was embarrassing. Kyle Lowry doesn't even throw the ball at a teammate anymore. He kind of just throws it to an area and hopes for the best. Jimmy Butler, my God, does he want to score in the fourth quarter? Does he? What happened to my lights? The lights are turning.
That was perfect timing.
It must be the Timberwolves, ladies and gentlemen. It must be the Timberwolves because this is where the Heat game was last night. Well, tonight, rather. I'm getting my nights confused.
You've already moved on to tomorrow. You're over this.
I'm so disgusted with this team. Like the Detroit game, yes, it was what it was. But this, on the second night of a back-to-back, when Minnesota doesn't even know what they're doing, like they're throwing the ball everywhere, ball's going out of bounds, and we have every opportunity to beat this team, and then we do that in the fourth quarter. Did we even score? And, oh, yeah, Duncan Robinson. Of course it's Duncan Robinson who's going to be the one who makes shots. This team, bro, I can't. I can't. I'm going to fix the lights.
Simba.
My main takeaway is we need a new intro for when we have losses like this.
Yeah, because it's too hype, right?
Yeah, right. I was like, I want to move, but
I know, like you want to feel good, but then we get on screen and we're like,
yeah. So let's see if Ricky can, or no, not Ricky, Royal can work on something. And
did you just confuse us?
Yeah, because I looked at you.
I see where this is going.
He's gonna clip this, and he's not gonna let you forget it. If I know anything about this man.
All right. Well. What are my main takeaways? I mean, Bam looked like in the beginning like we were gonna get a good Bam tonight, so I was very excited in the beginning. But then, as we start the third quarter, as always, third quarter never like it doesn't matter what year it is, doesn't matter who's on our team, who's starting. We always suck in the third. And it takes the life out of every fan watching the game. It's like, okay, here we go again. Well, at least for me, it does. And in the fourth quarter, we were non-existent. Like we kept seeing Jimmy be like aggressive, but more towards the players than actually towards the basket. So, I mean, it was worse than yesterday. And yeah, I mean, we ended up paying for it.
I hated watching yesterday, and tonight I was just like counting down the minutes until we were over, except for the fact that I knew I had to come host here, which is even worse. So thank you for the dono, John James. Bam is not the guy Bam fanboys thinks he is. Will forever frustrate Heat fans. We'll get into Bam a little bit later, but I want to hear Ricky's main reaction to this game first.
Wait, hold on. What was that? The council's going to be convened after? Oh, we're canceling Simba. Oh, okay. All right. We'll talk about that later. Okay. No, that was just, you guys don't know anything about that.
First, take this dono, Ricky, if you will. And
then give okay. Well, shout out to HM for the $5 dono, as Royal likes to call it. Still a huge fan, but F Jimmy for tonight. If that's the way you roll, live your life, bro. This is 2021. True superstars might have off nights, but they don't just disappear and no show like that. 39 minutes and 9 shots. I didn't even realize. Is that true? Did Jimmy really take 9 shots tonight? I thought he took more than that. Wow. That's terrible. Look, yeah. I know we're going to be talking about Bam a little bit later tonight, but I think this was just I think overall this was a team effort when it came to pretty much letting this game go to waste. It's ironic that as the legendary Marv Albert would say, Duncan Robinson started to show some signs tonight in that fourth quarter. I think he hit about 3 or 4 3-pointers that kept Miami in the game for the most part. but it just seemed like Miami had the jitters. Tyler Hero made some key errors. Bam Adebayo, there's a segment for that, for him specifically. I'm not sure if I felt PJ Tucker's presence out there tonight when he was on the floor. Just overall, I mean, even with Duncan doing, at least he was able to help with those 3 threes. But it seems to me that whenever he fails to box out, it's always at the worst possible time. The Timberwolves were in the midst of a run that would eventually become the game-breaking run. And what ended up happening was Duncan sees this ball sail towards the basket. It carams off the basket, and he just stands there flat-footed while a much more athletic competitor swoops in from the sky and lays it in with the putback. Not only that, I'm pretty sure we saw a man die tonight.
You know what? I don't want to focus on that because it didn't even count, so I don't really care what happened.
Oh, it didn't count in the game, but in the streets, they're having the funeral
in the streets.
Yeah, but you know what? Good
They're not
for
in the
Gabe.
streets right
He,
now.
like, he put himself
Oh no,
in
we're
that
always in the
situation.
streets, Simba. Always.
No, we're not.
Okay.
We're in
Simba's just
we're-
gonna offend you this whole episode.
What was that, Simba? What was that? Oh, that's strike 2. Okay. But yeah, that's all I got with regards to Miami. It was just wow. They should have won, but they didn't. And
Toine, you want
that's
to
on
take
them.
this down, since
Shout out to my guy Christian Cardis. Those January 6th Timbs fans, I'm assuming those are Timberwolves, just cut Twine's power. That's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So that's phenomenal, Dono.
Let's talk about Duncan for a little bit because
Let's talk about him.
I really want to keep saying it's too early to be concerned, but like, at what point do I stop saying that? I understand that the shooters go through droughts, but at this point, I don't know what he's giving us. Like
he's non-existent. He is a zero factor in this
Mm-hmm.
game. Like the point, like Ricky just came in this game. He was like, I didn't even really notice Duncan this game or whatever. Like that's a problem when you have a $19 million player and you don't even notice him. That's a huge problem.
Yeah, I just don't know what's going to be the difference maker for him because letting him shoot and play through it clearly isn't working. I don't think Spo's going to bench him. So, I mean, I guess Simba, what's your solution?
Trade him. Let's figure it out.
You're like
Trade
ready
him.
to just get rid of him.
Like he doesn't give us anything. Like he honestly doesn't give us anything. He gives us meaningless like 3-pointers at the end of the game. Great, it was cool, but like, at that point, it was really out of hand. Like it didn't really help.
Which,
like I would have taken it earlier.
It's kind of interesting though because I didn't really realize that. Like if it is a mental thing, maybe that's why those shots started falling because we didn't really stand a chance at that point. But that doesn't help us, and that's even more concerning to me. Toine, what are your thoughts?
If we're being honest, if Duncan is on, Duncan is exactly what the starting lineup needs, right? He's everything that you want him to be. If he's on, the problem is he's not, and everything else looks clunky, and he's playing bad. So, like, we got to take that. We got to take it with a grain of salt because if he was on, we'd be singing the praises of Duncan Robinson, like, oh, he's the greatest role player ever. But the fact of the matter is, he's not hitting. So, what do we do? What do we do from here? Ideally, you kind of just let him figure it out, right? Because there's no other guy you can put in that position that would be a better fit than what Duncan does. We went from Duncan last year, he would get 2 fouls, get subbed out the game. Then Duncan became solid defensively. Like, wait, we can play this guy. Like, he won't get beat off the court. And now it's back to old Duncan, where Duncan doesn't know where to be. He's watching balls fly over his head. He's out of position. He's fouling. Like, it's just a bunch of just dumb stuff. I'm so tired of seeing Duncan Robinson like this. It's so aggravating. Put your palms down, sir.
Well, and you know what I loved was when he took that midi, he kind of like shoot off his teammates being like, I got this. And I'm like, I mean, you got this. Why are you shocked that people are concerned that you're about to take this? Like, the audacity of him to do that to me in that moment was wild. I don't know, Ricky, you were shaking your head at the fact that we don't have anyone else to fill that void. Am I correct?
I'm a Max Strus guy, and I feel like there's still a lot that we can get out of him. And at this point, I think if they pull the plug on Duncan, he might be the next option. And at this point, one would hope that he's able to step into that position. But with Duncan Robinson, 2 things come to mind. One, with a lot of his shots, it looks like that one episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when Carlton steals the ball from Will at half court and just and we're all like this, hoping he makes it.
That's a great reference.
And it doesn't even go near the rim. It's terrible. And it's just unfortunate that that's the situation for him. I mean, and not only that, but Duncan's been getting pretty solid minutes all year. And I know that, I know Simba mentioned it, and a lot of people in the comments, both level-headed and prisoner of the moment type comments, where they're like, yeah, let's trade Duncan. You have to think that people are watching him too, and they're going to be like, why would we want this guy? He's having a bad season.
And that's what I'm getting a little concerned with at this point. It's like, what do we even get for Duncan if we start moving him? And then my other concern is, if he's in his head already now, what's going to happen near the trade deadline? The same thing that happened last year with him? Like, can he get more in his head, or can things get worse?
Trade him way before that. Like, don't even let him get in his head.
I was listening to the Feel the Heat podcast a couple of weeks ago.
Were you?
And I was, there was someone that was on there. I forget who it was, but they were basically talking about, for example, KZ Okpala, where if KZ Okpala just gets a change of scenery, he might actually be able to start playing better. And I'm not going to start saying, we got to trade Duncan. But in the event that this is irreparable and he's dealing with a mental block, which does realistically happen to NBA players, both great and little. I think even LeBron saw a sports psychologist at one point after the 2011 finals. Maybe a change of scenery could help him. And while the trade deadline could be problematic, I think we've gotten to a point where it's like, look, you are a professional. You're getting paid millions of dollars. Not to say that mental health isn't a problem. I'll be the first to say that it is real and you got to get, it's important. But you are paid to be a professional. Get help if that's what you need, because you are paid not to, and I know I don't want to bring up the podcast, but you're not paid to look cool in a Heat jersey. You're paid to hit three-pointers because everybody else knows what they're doing. And I guess the other person I was going to talk about was Kyle Lowry, but I suspect we might be moving to that at some point.
We'll take that dono first, and then we'll...
Oh, okay. Bweezy Bird. Okay. Thank you for the $4.99 dono. If you can't handle the hostility in Minnesota, you got no chance to win a ring, especially Jimmy, with the fans getting to him. Yeah. Okay.
This is a good point, honestly, to bring up, because it wasn't just Jimmy for me. At the beginning, when Bam wasn't hitting his free throws, I'm sorry, that was because of the fans. You can see that he was getting rattled, and the way he was missing them, they were like leaning so right that they almost weren't even touching the rim. So I don't know how you guys felt about kind of the hostility and the aggression. I'm all for a good scuffle, but like UD was getting technicals from the bench, which didn't help. Jimmy was obviously mouthing off at fans. I think they got into Bam's head. Ricky, I guess we'll start with you. What were your thoughts with that?
Look, I think isn't this the Heat team that's supposed to relish these sorts of situations? This team is supposed to be the all the smoke 1990s Knicks Heat team that loves it when people get into fights. Okay, the fact that I hope the fans aren't the reason why they were rattled, because if that's the case, if you're really rattled by a random night in November, the night before Thanksgiving, a bunch of fans in Minnesota that wouldn't know good basketball if KD punched them in the face.
Did you hear why Jimmy had gone to that fan?
I don't.
Okay, so basically they were basically chanting stuff about Rachel Nichols and Jimmy, which is why he went over to that fan, which I can understand. But at the same time, between that and UD and Bam just not looking like Bam, it's like I'm not even trying to throw shade. It's Minnesota Timberwolves fans. Yeah. Like, Jimmy's what are we doing? If we can't keep it together with that, I don't know. Toine, what do you think?
Jimmy's heard a lot worse in his life than jokes about Rachel Nichols of all people.
Oh, wait, are you muted?
Wow, yeah, I'm muted the whole time.
Ricky was talking, so it's fine.
Phenomenal points, quiet. But I was agreeing with what Ricky said.
Thank you,
and what you said, Allana. If you're gonna get upset about fans, don't let it be Minnesota. Mm-hmm. They've stunk since I've been born. So you can't allow Minnesota fans to get under your skin. Like, I get it. It was the fans on top of the calls that were going against them, on top of the fact that they were playing bad, on top of the fact that they couldn't get anything going. So it was a mixture of everything. I don't think it was just the fans that were doing it, but you can't allow that to happen. Not in Minnesota. Not there.
Go ahead and take that.
Shout out my guy, Jason Adebowale.
There you go. There you go.
Better than what Royal would have done.
Beginning of the season, teams couldn't score on us when we weren't switching every single screen. I don't know what Spo saw, but since we started switching everything, we've had many defensive issues. How do we feel about this? I feel like this team is old, bro. I feel like they're old. They're not able to continue with all of the, defensive intensity that they had when they were first coming in and were happy to be, on the same team and feeling like they're going to take on the world. Well, now we're like 15 games in. Legs are starting to get tired. Injuries are starting kicking in. And now we're going to be like, okay, we got to save ourselves from the playoffs. I think we can still see that same level of intensity defensively and all this stuff when we shutting people down in the playoffs. But like you got PJ Tucker and Jimmy and Kyle and Deadman, like you're relying on a whole bunch of old guys to play every single game. It's gonna happen. Like they're gonna slow down. It makes sense.
And I know that all of us keep talking about the fact that we're clearly like built for the playoffs, but we have to get there first. So
hold on, we got a special guest.
Yeah.
What's up?
Looks like his internet went up.
That was his 2 cents on the whole game.
Okay.
Simba, I want to get your thoughts a little bit on the fans kind of heckling, and then
hold up. We got him again.
Or his thoughts.
My bad. I actually swiped. I'm on my phone. Quick thing. You guys are doing fabulous, so I'm not going to stay here long.
Welcome.
I wanted to make sure that we paid the bills on this show, so we want to thank A Aggressive Insurance for being the primary sponsor of the post-game show. That's A Aggressive Insurance. You can visit her at insurancebyLynette.com or give her a phone call at 954-581-8800 for any of your insurance needs. Also, we are sponsored by CPT Florida, who I met last night at the watch party, along with my dog, Simba. The boy feeling good. But yeah, CPT Florida, if you have any IT needs for your small business, please reach out to CPT Florida or visit their website, cptflorida.com, because they do that type of shit. When the fuck we trading Kyle Lowry, bro?
And this is why Royal is the best in the business. Man did this on his cell from memory. I appreciate the shit out of you.
No problem. When the fuck are we trading Kyle Lowry?
No, we're not there yet.
Okay, when the fuck are we trading Duncan Robinson?
We're there, I think.
There's a countdown. There's like 50 days, I think.
When the fuck are we trading Bam Adebayo?
Well, we haven't gotten to Bam yet. We're not.
You gave me the thumbs down when I said that.
I'm with it. When we trading Jimmy, get them all out of here.
All right, Jimmy, I'm cool with. We got Caleb Martin.
Bro, are you shooting up?
This is not
Who
PJ
are you
Tucker's
replacing
team.
these people with?
You said what?
Who are you replacing these people with? You're getting rid of the whole team.
It don't matter.
You want Gabe Vincent to start with KZ?
You want Deadman out there?
Bro, listen, we wasted the
Gabe
Gabe
Vincent
Vincent
right?
game.
They wasted the Gabe Vincent game.
We wasted the Gabe Vincent game, bro. Kyle, like my biggest gripe is with Kyle Lowry. I've been like getting louder and louder about him because we need more offensive production out of Kyle Lowry in terms of his scoring. The assists are cute, and we appreciate all of that. But dog, we need you to put the ball in the hole, and then when you get into foul trouble, we have to rely on Gabe Vincent. That's not conducive to winning for this team. We're not going to win that way. And so we need for him to be better. We're paying him more than we pay Duncan, but we are louder on Duncan than we are on Kyle Lowry. And it's time for people to start turning up on him. Like, whatever you got going on, bro, you need to go get you some counseling too. Work that shit out. Get your ass on the court. Let's play some basketball. Y'all have a great rest of y'all show. Y'all are doing fabulous. I love y'all. See y'all later.
Thanks for popping in. Before I forget this dono, John Mullen, thank you. RIP, Gabe V, you will be missed. I'm fine with what happened. It didn't count. Alex Campbell, shout out to you. Need to retire that kennel nickname till they learn how to kill their target. Yeah.
Cats play with their food, not dogs.
We're not living up to our name. Leo the Lion, $4.99 dono. Thank you. I love that name. Bam is limited offensively. He's not a KG type. He's inefficient from mid-range, not crafty on drives to the basket, and can't score versus bigger guys. Bam didn't look great tonight, and we'll get to that in a second. Franz Charles, thank you. Y'all giving up already. It's only 19 games. Chill. Thank you, a voice of reason, especially after Royal comes in here wanting to trade the whole team. Let's talk about Bam, I guess. Toine, I'm going to leave it up to you to start.
All right. I have all the Bam takes. Bam is my favorite player in the league, so I'm going to let these people know. Bam coming out of college, right, was drive, if he has a smaller guy on him, try to, put a little hook shot over top of him, or we're going to screen and roll. That was it. When he got to the NBA, screen and roll. That was it. When he got it his second year, he can actually do some stuff. Let's give him some reps. But he's still going to come off the bench until the end of the year. And his primary role is to screen and roll. Now, Bam, everybody's starting to figure out, Bam can do a whole lot of things. But he's not doing all of the things that he wants them to do right now, right? So it takes some time for him to gradually learn. He has the ability to be a superstar. He has the ability to be the best player on the floor at all times. But you got to think, since he was in high school, he's been doing the same thing over and over again. So now he has to readjust his mindset and his game in order to be more aggressive. Is that an excuse for him to be absolutely horrid tonight? No. But also, he's not going to be 25, 10, and 5 every night. If you're expecting what Cat did tonight, where Cat's been the number one guy his whole life, versus Bam, who hasn't been. He's always been a second option, always been limited in his role. You got to give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt to be like, okay, this guy still got to figure it out, which is why I'm not too concerned with him having a bad game. I'm not saying he's overpaid. I'm not saying I'm giving up on Bam, not saying I'm trading him or anything like that. He just got to figure it out. He's got to take his lumps just like everybody else who turned into a star player did.
Do you have a concern, though, with the fact that he does like to play small and he is switching a lot? Because that's my only thing with Bam. I have been in the same kind of belief as you, where like it takes time to kind of switch his game up. He needs to just, I feel like there's still a fear there. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I just feel like he's a little bit too hesitant for me.
I think he overcomplicates things. I think he tries to get everybody involved, make sure he's getting guys shots. Mm-hmm. He also tries to find little spots where he can be aggressive and where he can get to the rack and where he can get to his pull-up jump shot. And it's kind of like just putting all that stuff together at the same time to where he doesn't have to think about it. Because right now he's thinking about it. That's the hesitancy we're seeing. That's when he takes 3 dribbles and he's trying to back down Cat and Cat's not moving and he's still trying to get into it. Then it's a turnover and they run it down. It's because he's trying to find a balance. Because Kyle Lowry's going to give it to him. Jimmy's giving it to him and they're just clearing out the way. He really doesn't know what necessarily he needs to do. Does he need to get guys involved? Does he need to drive? Does he need to shoot? You don't know yet. So he's trying to like just kind of figuring it out. So you got to take your lumps. That's it.
Ricky?
So Toine, I completely understand where you're coming from with regards to Bam and his developmental journey. However, I think the other side of that needs to also be said. He's a professional athlete in the NBA, and he's dealing with arguably the best player development team in the league. This is the same team that has taken, no disrespect to them, but scrubs by our definition of NBA talent and turned them into not only players that get 6, 7, 8, 9 figures, but, role players. This is a team that's been doing that since 1996. Bruce Bowen doesn't have the clout he has today if it's not for Pat Riley, and that's just one example. But here's the thing with Bam, right? He has all the ability in the world to do it. We've seen it. The example I use all the time is him taking it to the rack against Boston in the bubble. Okay? Like you said, you spoke to his abilities, right? But how many years do we have to wait? How many times, how long does he have to spend in the gym before he realizes these are my powers? Let me give you an example. Kobe Bryant, the late, great Kobe Bryant, was already a very talented player, but he was raw coming out of high school at the age of 17. But he lived in the gym. I'm not questioning Bam's commitment to the gym. Obviously, he's changed, right? But every year you saw him add something that was not just a gimmicky thing that lasted 4 games and went away the first time an injury hit, but something that was long lasting, something that was added to his bag until his 60-point game against the Utah Jazz, right? The problem I've seen with Bam, however, is that he started off great. The guy was doing 24-16 and 24-16 and 7 to start the season. You remember that. We all saw it. We were all gushing about it. I believe there were multiple episodes of Clutch Corner that were like, man, Bam.
Yeah.
Man, okay. You know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing. Same with Feel the Heat. Same with Dono. Same with just about everyone. Right? Then something happens. And then just like that, he starts playing small. He was small tonight. Yeah. He gave me his best Joel Embiid impression tonight with the amount of times he fell to the floor. This is the same Bam Adebayo that took Cat's lunch, I think it was last season or the season before, just because somebody said, ooh, Cat's better than you. And then all of a sudden in a game like this where he's needed, he shrinks. That's a problem. This is the same Bam we saw go off in the bubble. And remember, we always say the bubble meant something. The bubble isn't to be treated whatever. And I'll just close by saying this because I know I've been going for a little bit. But here's the thing. The clock is ticking for Bam, and I'm not saying trade Bam. I say that jokingly, but I would never mean that seriously unless like Prime Shaq were to come from the past or something. But the thing is, Bam has had more than enough time to not only develop a bag, but to use it consistently. And it's on him. He has the ability. He's not doing it, and he should absolutely be held accountable for it because at this point, I don't know what else to suggest he do.
Let me just read this real quick. Thank you to Jason. I'm sorry if he had no offensive bag in high school. I'm not going to expect him to ever average 23 plus in the NBA. No ceiling, though. Simba, let me switch up the question a little bit on you. Do you think that Bam's knee is becoming an issue? Because I believe it's tendonitis, and I know that some people after last game were floating around the topic of like, is this something that maybe is more serious than we thought? We all know the Heat are super tight-lipped. They're never going to say anything. Tyler was way worse for the wear than any of us knew when he was struggling. Is that part of the problem? Is it a mental thing? Do half the guys on this team have a mental block right now? Is it contagious? Like, what's really going on here?
I don't. It could be, part of the tendonitis, and if it is, then I would rather him just not play for a while until he's fixed. But I'm not going to give him that excuse because he's had that ever since he's been here.
Everybody has tendonitis.
He's been but this is Bam's MO. Like, we've always seen it. Like, you see him start the game so strong, and you're like, okay, here comes a Bam night. And then all of a sudden he goes away. Like, has he had tendonitis since he's been here with the Heat? Like, I highly doubt that. So, I'm on the boat with Ricky. Like, at some point he needs to, be a professional. And I mean, like, they're feeding him the ball. They want him to be the guy. Like, we watch games sometimes and Kyle and Jimmy just give him the ball and they step back. Like, they get completely out of it. They're like, do it, because he can do it. It's just that, I guess to Toine's point, like, he just doesn't know exactly how to do it, but he has the skills. I mean, we see him do it all the time. I think he overthinks it. I think he just way overthinks it. I think also part of the problem is like he overthinks it and he has like some bad turnovers, like those back-to-back turnovers he had today or whatever. Like it's just overthinking it. Like, how many moves are you going to do? Like, just go up, like, do it. Like, that's it. We're not going to get mad. Like, I don't think any fan is going to get mad because he tried to power his way through anything. Like, instead, we get mad with the turnovers or the passing out and, trying to be too cute with the feet. Like, that's the thing with Bam. So at some point he has to be Bam that we all think he can be, because we will, people are going to start chanting the trade Bam thing, pretty loud. And if it's a mental thing, it's going to get even worse for him if he does not step it up.
See, and I think for me, the problem is right now, we have guys like Jimmy and Kyle, but they're up there in age. In the future, if we are sticking with more or less the same roster, it's Bam and Tyler. If Bam can't be that number one guy, that is a huge problem. And right now, he doesn't even look like the 2 or 3 half the night. So for me, yeah, like right now, it's an issue, but I'm looking ahead. If we keep him, what does this team look like? Is he ever going to be the number 1 or number 2 option? And I think, like, I've talked about this on Feel the Heat. I don't think he has the personality of Jimmy or Kyle. He's never going to be that guy. Like, we can laugh all you want about the fact that I've said he's a cancer and he's softer. Fine, whatever the reason is, he's not that guy. But the thing is, he doesn't need to be that guy personality wise. He needs to show it in the X's and the O's, and that's not happening either. And again, I don't know where it's coming from, but they need to figure it out. Another guy that needs to figure it out, although I'm not as worried as seemingly a lot of other people are, but Kyle, Ricky, I'll start with you this time. I don't know what your thoughts are. Royals clearly ready to just jump ship on him. I don't know if you're there yet.
So one of the things I was concerned about, not just with Kyle, but just roster-wise, heading into the season, was age and injuries. And people use Knick fan as a pejorative to describe me when I said that, as though I was trying to throw water on everyone's parade. Well, look at the reality we're facing, folks. I'm not trying to be a prophet. I'm not trying to be right. Look at what we're dealing with. Okay, Kyle Lowry's gonna be, he's in his mid-30s. He's on the wrong. He's not on the side of his career where you're like, oh, he's got a great future. We've seen his best years. Okay, we have, and it's one of the reasons why I was concerned about the size of that contract, considering how old he'll be at the end of it. But that's a whole nother story altogether. The thing with Kyle Lowry that's been concerning for me this season and just moving forward is, well, there are times when he'll go, there are times when he'll go for a while without asserting himself in the offense. There are moments when he might not be scoring as well, but he'll make the team better in other ways, like points. Like assists and rebounds, like the other night actually, where he was 4 for 10, but was able to get assists and rebounds and some steals and maybe a few drawn charges. But here's the thing: this team needs everyone to do their job for them to have a chance. I say this every single pregame. Mm-hmm. If they do what they're supposed to do, I have Miami up against anybody in the league. But if Kyle Lowry starts bricking shots and all that stuff, it's concerning. And here's the thing: he's supposed to be the floor general. He's supposed to be this team's leader. And I'll try to wrap it up with this. Miami has had trouble finishing games this year. Okay, it's not as bad as the Lakers, my goodness, but they've had trouble. And the thing with that is, and the thing that concerns me is that, and I mentioned this during a previous stream, I forget which show it even was, but Kyle Lowry, before Kawhi Leonard came for that one season, wasn't exactly known as a big-time performer when things got tight. A lot of us want to pretend like that didn't happen or that went away the moment he won that ring and everything was cool. But that was who he was, where he and DeMar DeRozan would turn into a pumpkin in May, and the Raptors couldn't do anything against LeBronto. So Kyle Lowry, he needs to step it up. He needs to step it up on offense. And one last thing, he needs to tone down the whining, okay? It's ridiculous. Y'all would hate it, and we can talk about it. Sure,
I love it.
No.
I like it.
I love
it's okay.
it.
It's okay. It's fine. I'll die on this hill. I'm perfectly fine with that. But the problem with that is tonight, obvious foul. They cost the Heat an official challenge, clear foul, and on top of that, he almost ended up getting another tech on top of that, which would have cost Miami. These things cost Miami. It costs the team when a player is constantly whining at the refs.
Also cost Miami though.
Yeah.
UD doesn't play basketball.
Even more so.
How are you more mad about an almost? You're more mad about an almost tech than an actual tech.
Because one of these because one of these days, because UD doesn't get techs every night. Kyle Lowry's a tech threat every night.
He's an
one
Aries.
Of these days,
let him do his thing.
No, we can't do that. We can't build a team according to that.
I'm fine.
You can't be called. You can't be a kennel full of dogs. That
and not bark.
Just like
you can be. Look, you can be a kennel full of dogs without potentially gifting the other team points when you're already dealing with injuries and inconsistency from your best players.
That's not the kind of
everything needs to go well. Well, so be it. But either way, if it's a problem, if it's a problem, I'm gonna talk about it. That's a problem for me, and I don't mind down on this hill because the whining is eventually gonna get old. Heat fans are gonna get tired of it at some point.
Toine,
just keep a lookout.
Wait, let's read some donos real quick.
All right, go for it, Simba, since you brought it up.
All right. So thank you, HM, for the $5 dono. Bam has greatly improved every year, but he just doesn't have the mentality of an alpha. I have zero faith in him as a future leader and or number one. I feel like part of the reason they brought Kyle was to help him become that number one. But I don't think he has the mentality to do it. I think he's like a leader, just not out on the court. I think that's the kind of person he is.
Very quickly, I want to make a point when it comes to the Bam thing. You saw like guys like Devin Booker or Bradley Beal. I heard I was listening to the Duncan Spot podcast. When they came in, they were shooters, right? That was the thing that they did. And but they were on bad teams where they had the opportunity to do whatever they want, the freedom to just be whoever they want and create whatever NBA player that they wanted to be, however they wanted their career to map out, right? Devin Booker becomes a star. Now his shooting is not even the thing that you look at the most. Now it's the mid-range game, and he can pass a little bit. Oh, he got a bunch of this stuff that he can do, and he's like mini Kobe. And then you look at Bradley Beal. Oh, he's one of the best scorers in the NBA, right? When they came in just as shooters, that's what they did. The disadvantage that Bam has had is that he was this pick and roll guy, and he comes in with Dwayne Wade, and he's still pick and roll guy. And then now when he has the opportunity to finally figure out what he wants to be in the NBA, they bring one of the most, biggest characters in the NBA, Jimmy Butler. That's the leader. If anything happens, you go through him. So it's hard for a guy like that who's young, who's just trying to figure out his spot in the league, to automatically become an alpha if he's never been put in a position to be that guy. He's never been forced to be that guy. He's always been oh, I can find my little spot here. I can be the second best guy on the team. And Jimmy's going to be the guy who takes all the heat, who's going to be the leader and everything like that. So he hasn't really been put in a position where he can be that guy, which is why it might seem like now, oh, he can't get there. We just haven't seen it yet. So that's my main thing about Bam. But I don't want to go too long. So the thing with Kyle Lowry, I said in the beginning, he was shooting a whole lot of pull-ups. That was his thing. I was scared that he wasn't getting to the rim. That was like the fourth game in. I was like, he's not getting to the rim. It's an issue. And now he's still not getting to the rim, and then the shots aren't falling. So it's like, what are you doing offensively other than passing? Which is good. Like Goro said, it's real cute. But we need to score the basketball. And then in the fourth quarter, when the execution is hot garbage, now Kyle Lowry wants to get to the rim, and good things happen. I think somebody posted a stat. He's getting like 4 less drives to the rim this year than he was last year. And it's just so frustrating that that's a part of his game that he was so good at before the pull-ups, before the shots and all that stuff, before all the playoff praise that he got. He was just driving to the rim. That was his best skill. And he's not doing that here. And it's not good enough just to be a good passer. And it's not good enough just to throw up lobs and hope somebody gets it. He has to be better offensively overall versus just the passing.
You know what's interesting? I feel like this is the perfect team in terms of identity and culture and personality, but I don't think it's the greatest construction in terms of X's and O's. And I'm not saying that they can't get there, and it is still early. It's 19 games in. I do have confidence that by the time we get closer to the playoffs, and especially in the playoffs, that things will click. But I just feel like everyone, including myself, was so excited about the fact that we have this like really raw and gritty team, and they all fit that way. Like the Jimmy and Kyle dynamic, and, to Toine's point, getting on, or I think Simba said it too, like the fact that they got brought on to then work alongside Bam and kind of get people or to get him going a little bit more aggressively. But they all kind of now have to like figure out their own roles. Even Tyler Hero is coming in kind of in a different role. When Depot gets back, it's going to be a whole nother dynamic. And I also think the fact that people are going in and out of the lineup in terms of injury or rest or whatever. Obviously, Keith has been out for a while. It's a mess. And I feel like every game, it's not like one guy didn't perform well or one guy went missing. And I think Ricky's right. Unless everyone is doing what they're supposed to do, like this team is constructed to play team ball, which is great when we're playing well. And it's not everything on everyone or an individual's shoulder. It's on everyone's shoulder. But the problem is if everyone is sucking at the same time, like we're cooked. So I don't know how you guys feel about kind of like the personality match versus the X's and O's and them fitting together. I don't know, Simba, you want to take that?
Juan Motoa, thank you for the $1.99 dono. Sets juice loose. I agree. Where the hell is he? Jose A. Lucas, thank you for the $5 dono. There's no two teams I want the Heat to murder as much as Minnesota and the Nuggets when they come to Miami. Hate them so much. I mean, I don't hate the Timberwolves.
I didn't realize how irritating they were until tonight.
Yeah,
I don't care
exactly.
About them. Like, I don't think about them.
Yeah, when I was watching, I was like, man, fuck this team. Like, that's how I was. I was like, yo, like, take that smile off of, Edwards' face right now. Mm-hmm. Let's see. We have some more donos. D, thank you for the $2 dono. Bam don't have that dog in him. I don't agree with that. I think he does have it. I think to Toine's point, I think it actually makes a lot of sense. Like, you have Jimmy on this team. It's hard to out-dog Jimmy. Like,
well, and now Kyle, too. It's like double. They're the same person. Jimmy's a little bit more psycho in a good way, but it's like two of them now.
All right. Thank you, Jason Adebowale. That's honestly the reason I want him to start shooting threes, because at least he'll have no choice but to shoot if he's wide open, I hope. Otherwise, I don't trust him to be aggressive driving to the paint. Who's he talking about?
I think he might be talking about Bam, but then that causes
Bam
Bam's
threw
rebounding
hella
numbers
shade
to
at
go
Heat
down.
Twitter, though, which I was living for. He basically just told everyone to shut up about the threes.
All right,
and I agree. I don't want that to be what he concentrates on. I feel like there's 8 other things that he needs to improve on before that.
Okay. Leo the Lion, thank you for the $4.99 donation. Is it possible that Kyle's too busy trying to facilitate and force a non-scorer to score? Cough, Bam. So he's struggling to find his rhythm scoring. I mean, it could be it, but there was one point where I was watching a game and I was literally like, Kyle, get your fat ass in there. Like, why are you just standing outside right now? Like, come on, dude. Like,
I do think, though, that contributed to at least the slower offensive start for him, because when he came in those first few games, he was feeding it like crazy to Bam and Jimmy. And I don't feel like he was necessarily worried about his own shot. I think it's time to start improving on that a little bit. But
he doesn't always play with Bam. Sometimes there's other people on the floor and he still passes. Like, he's doing it too much. I don't know, like, what the idea is behind it, but.
And then even still in the beginning when he was doing it, it was working. Bam was destroying people, so it didn't matter. People didn't care.
Well, and that's the thing, right? When then that's kind of the point I was trying to make. When everything is going wrong, we look so bad that we're blaming everybody. Because in the beginning, I wasn't worried at all about Kyle. Because to your point, Bam was killing it, so like he's doing what he came to do. But now if Bam's not doing well and Kyle's not picking up the slack and Jimmy's it's just we're not clicking at all. Like, Gabe had a great night, and we still, and what? Nothing. Like, okay, we can see that Gabe can be a better version of Gabe. Is that going to keep up? I'm more worried, honestly, about the inconsistency at this point.
I think a lot of it comes back to, and it's just weird, it comes back to Duncan, because his game helps everybody out so much, and it was structured that way so that he would open it for everybody. And his inconsistency is really starting to play a huge factor on this team, I think. Unfortunately, because they are leaving Duncan open now. Like, they just do not care about him. Like, they're not afraid of him.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be a well-oiled machine. And unfortunately, age and injury are going to cause this well-oiled machine to rust, and it will interfere with production. And if that continues to happen, I mean, in a way, and this is not me trying to make an excuse for the Heat team, because the Heat team is too good for that. I'll pause what I'm saying to say this. Talking Movies, $2.99 dono. Thank you for that. T-Wolves fans acting like this was a Game 7 whack. I guess.
Alone in my apartment, I was like, y'all need to settle down. This isn't a Game 7. Like, they were, who do you think you are?
Let them be happy. Let them enjoy things.
I'll take no reason to back it.
Tell you what, I'll tell you what. Heat fans. For those of you Heat fans that were even alive when this was happening in 2004, when they were on that long win streak, when Rafer Alston hit that game-winning 3. Remember how happy y'all were when he beat the Dallas Mavericks? Imagine if somebody came from out of, because Miami sucked for 2 seasons leading up to that, and they finally experienced joy. Well, yeah, so there's not that much going on in November. I mean, let them enjoy it. Of course, I'd be happy too if the team that I had seen barely developing finally did something. Christian Cardis.
You're not.
Believe me.
The problem is that they were over celebrating. I don't think people care that they were celebrating. That's part of it. They were over celebrating, the point where they were getting up, getting into Jimmy's ear and everything. That's over celebrating right there.
We bring out pots and pans whenever there's a regular season victory here in Miami. I mean,
but it's not in the arena. It's happening outside.
It's like
there's
Heat Twitter overreacting.
They would bring it in the arena if they could. I mean, like, what every fan
There's
base
a huge
is
difference.
Like
at one point, Anthony.
Right, one is Miami and one is Minnesota.
No, Edwards went up to a fan and then started dabbing him up, and I was like, "Who the?"
I was like,
"That's over celebrating right there. That is over."
Dwayne Wade jumped on the scorer's table.
Dwayne Wade, how can you compare?
What I mean. No, it's a
but he didn't dab up a fan. He was just letting everybody know that this was his house.
Also,
that was
right.
it.
And what else happened that night?
He was claiming his territory. We allow that.
Oh, then that's what Minnesota was doing. And they're actual wolves, and they showed it tonight.
Read this dono.
Oh, Christian Cardus, $1.99. How Lowry got that much cake but couldn't box out. You see, here's the thing. When one has cake, that doesn't necessarily mean one knows how to use
Kyle
it.
Lowry's on, because I lost a little weight and I'm needing some help.
Oh man. Oh no. Allana.
I'm just saying. I lost a little weight. It's been a hard 2 years. I've been stressed.
We'll get you back. We'll get you back to where you need to get to.
I've been trying to have a lot of rice and beans. That's like my Thanksgiving might help.
How often do you dabble in potatoes?
Not often enough. I'll be honest.
So I've got
tomorrow night it's happening.
So I've got some workouts for you that'll actually help you with that. And come January, you'll be breaking the internet all over again. HM $5. Could Kyle and Tyler end up being the number one? Jimmy and Bam have shown that yes, we were actually talking about Allana's booty. Jimmy and Bam have shown that they just don't want to come out and be the guy nightly. We might some time to do it. Look, it's not necessary that there's the same guy that's like the number one every night. When you're dealing with an assembly of players like this, take the 2004 Detroit Pistons, for example.
Let's not go too far. Okay, I'm still working with a little something. I'm just
okay. All right, now I don't even know why I'm doing this, but just Allana's Instagram is not private.
It is actually.
Oh, never mind.
You can. I do not deny requests. It's private. Just because of
right now, Toine
things.
is hating this. Toine was like, I barely wanted to talk about
if y'all request me,
the last thing I wanted to do was
private. It was a personal thing that I made it private.
Let's just look. Let's just say there's a reason there's a simp gang.
Ooh, Popeye's biscuits might not be a bad idea though. Whoever just
careful though, because they're high on cholesterol. Like
rice and beans. That's what I'm trying. If you guys have any suggestions, let's keep this going.
No. That's kind of like a catch-22 because Cubans have a lot of Cubans. Well, most of the ones that are on the island, maybe not so much the ones in Miami, but a lot of Cubans tend to have African blood, and that contributes to a certain form factor, so to speak. So it's not so much. It's not so much the food. The food helps, but I know a couple people that are. All right, I'm done.
What happened?
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, all right. We're now. I do see a lot of biscuits though, so I might actually
rice, beans, biscuits, and chicken over rice.
I'm
what
on the
are we
rice
talking
and beans.
about, ladies and
I
gentlemen?
need to get back on potatoes.
How did
Apparently,
we get here?
All you gotta do is eat out, dude. Like McDonald's, Burger King,
no,
Taco
I can't.
Bell.
Okay, I need. I have.
You don't need
that.
You don't need that.
I need to hold up my health. We have somehow made it 46 minutes. I just briefly want to talk about Saturday's matchup because we're playing the Chicago Bulls, who are looking pretty good.
Narc.
Bye.
Wow.
You cannot kick out the host. I am producing power as well, sir. Real talk though, Toine, how are you feeling about Saturday? Feeling good? Are you concerned about the Bulls at all? I do squats, but thank you.
I'm going to be honest with the people. I may or may not be a closet Bulls and Raptors fan.
Yes, we love it. We love to hear it. I know, carbs. Yes, sorry.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm feeling very awful in terms of the Heat about this the Chicago matchup. I think Chicago lost to Houston.
Yeah, they did.
That's all more reason why they're going to get the Heat are going to get slapped by 45. Because they lost this game. So I'm picking the Bulls 1,000,000, Heat 12. So yeah.
I actually agree with this comment. We played a competition all the time. So I feel better about this game, especially that we lost to the Timberwolves tonight. So right now somebody stole Jimmy's food and he's not happy about it. So I think the Bulls are the perfect team to put in place.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kyle is holding a Thanksgiving dinner for everyone, I think, at the Peninsula Hotel. Actually, I don't know if I was supposed to say the hotel. No, if anyone stalks the Heat, don't blame me. It just so happens that's where all the teams stay in Chicago. But he is hosting.
We suspect you.
He is hosting a Thanksgiving dinner, which
what kind of sides?
Might be.
What kind of sides do you think he would have?
They don't mix with the main family.
Yams.
Is that your favorite? We should probably have this conversation because stuffing has been slandered way too much for my liking this week.
I'm not a big stuffing person. Stuffing's like it's all right.
Everyone?
It depends on what kind of stuffing.
You're having bad stuffing if you don't like stuffing.
I love my stuffing.
Stuffing's not the main thing at the table that you're going for, right?
What are you mostly excited about then?
The yams.
Yams are okay.
It has to be about the yams.
The yams.
What else? The yams.
It's the yams.
If nothing else, I mean, the mac and cheese, it has to be high quality.
You sound like one of those dinosaurs in the Flintstones.
Okay, here's my problem with mac and cheese and mashed potatoes. I said this on Feel the Heat. I eat that stuff like anytime. To me, that's not Thanksgiving food. It's just like a side.
You've never had Caribbean. Have you had Caribbean mac and cheese? It's different than white.
Yeah,
it's different than white people mac and cheese.
Okay, but
that stuff is.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I am what I am. My family's from Europe, so actually, my parents don't even care about Thanksgiving because they don't celebrate at home. So everything is just revolves around me, and they just get what I ask. I feel
like there are two conversations happening right now. Okay.
Anyway, back
That
to
wasn't
what I
even
was
what I was
saying.
talking about.
My point
Stuffing's
with the
not that
Kyle
great.
thing,
Oh, okay.
I feel like maybe that'll help in terms of team morale because something's going on mentally with them. Duncan is a mess. Clearly, Bam's not feel like it might just be nice for the team to get together, do something. I don't know.
I mean,
like
I know how to make
Toine's
coquito.
like this isn't gonna do anything.
The
I mean, I
boys
hope
feeling
so.
good about this game. We about to blow that shit out. Duncan
Okay.
just ended this last game shooting
All right,
a couple
so
threes.
we have
So I
Toine
feel
saying
good
a
about
million to like 8. You're confident, Ricky.
So I feel like we might have had a conversation about the Bulls within the last 4 days. I don't know. My memory isn't that great.
Who knows?
That'll be out at some point. But here's the thing with the Bulls. The Bulls are a solid team, and I don't know if I'm a closet fan. I like them. But outside of their starting 4, they don't really have much of a bench. What? Oh, they don't have really. They don't really have much of a bench. I think Miami can go in there and win if they're able to capitalize on Chicago's weak depth. However, if Chicago watched tonight's game and they take notes, it could be a problem for Miami if Lonzo, if DeMar, if Zach LaVine go off from deep. If that's the case, then we'll see. But I think it'll be a challenge. But Miami should. Like most of the games this season should come out with this win. Chicago's not deep enough to contend with Miami.
I'll agree on the depth part. My concern is that if our stars are nowhere to be found and Lonzo, DeMar, and LaVine end up having the kinds of games that they're having. Also, Alex Caruso's looking great too. He's back from his injury. I don't know. We do tend to play up to competition, which is really frustrating games like tonight, but great when we beat teams like the Bulls. I'm hoping that they're just going to kind of recalibrate and go out there and kill it, but it's going to be a fun game regardless. I'm excited personally.
I am too. Can we go back to Thanksgiving now?
Let's close it out on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Oh God.
I mean, I would wear that. I'm not gonna lie. Pink's not really my color, but I would wear that. I don't hate it.
He looked like how like girls will women will wear like men's clothes the next day or whatever.
Yeah,
like he looked
that's
like
he was
with a super fat chick the night before, right? Yeah. Like that was what it was. Like, I don't care what his style.
What if she was just 6'10"? Huh? Why she had to be like?
It was 6'10" the other way.
Well. Oh, we're just being violent tonight. That's just what we're doing.
It was a lot of yams and stuffing and mac and cheese.
Absolutely.
Are y'all turkey people or ham people?
I don't mess with the swine.
None of the above.
None. Really? What do you eat?
Yeah, I just found out this year that a lot of people really don't like turkey.
I know. I saw that too, and I'm like, am I missing something?
Yeah.
I love white meat.
Yeah.
Are we just gonna stop talking when I say that?
I think that's a great way to wrap this up. Between
we're
me
talking about okay.
To put my booty back up, and you love white meat.
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna hide from who I am as a human being. Okay. I love
Twisted. I don't think you're eating the right turkey. That's the. I was trying to make this point to Michael too. Like you got to get the juicy organic turkey.
Well, yeah.
No, it's a little too dry in the middle.
I don't even think it's about getting it. Like you just have to cook it to be juicy.
Probably, yeah. But I don't cook Thanksgiving food, so I buy it.
It can be dry though. Like it really honestly can.
The white meat that Ricky likes is on the drier side.
Mine tends to be well seasoned, actually. So
yeah.
I'm just telling you, we season our food in this house, and it just works out.
Thank you, David, for the $5 dono. Lowry about to teach Bam how to grab chicken wings without dropping it. I mean, I'm telling you, I think that dinner is going to do more than what people think. Although chicken wings at Thanksgiving is anything.
We have more donos, so I mean, I don't know if you want to stop.
What is R? Now I feel like royal.
The first letter in my name.
No, okay. Whatever currency this is, unless it is.
Real. That's Brazilian money.
Oh, okay. Well, that's exciting.
How much is that worth?
That's like 40 cents or something. It's not much.
We still appreciate it. We just played 2 younger and more athletic teams on back-to-back road games. Let them get some rest and we see, but we got to trade Duncan.
Well,
Yeah, the currency
Wrapped up
tank
all
under
in one.
Bolsonaro.
Quick little.
I'm still held up on the 40 cents thing. Like, fuck. That's all we had.
Yeah,
The
like
fact that
the
Ricky
currency.
knew that off the top of his head.
My brother's Brazilian. Shout out to you, Felipe. I see you.
Okay.
my guy Felipe.
Yeah, gang on these
Oh man,
haters.
a little aggressive there.
Turkey
son.
drier than Katie's ankles. That's well.
Ooh, well, he's richer than us. Colonizer meat? Damn, bro, acting like the waterfowl doesn't come from Africa. Do your research, Christian. We do colonizer meat. Wait till you see
Yeah,
how
that's
my
what I'm
family
saying.
looks.
You're
I
eating
don't
turkey
eat
incorrectly.
Look at this healthy brown. You think? Come on now.
It's a healthy, bro.
Wait, go to my family reunion. Come on now. We all kinds of shades.
Are we
Playboy.
invited?
Yeah, why not? As soon as this thing wears off and
Apparently,
You
I
know,
can eat
you-
better mac and cheese, maybe. Although I
Oh, you
can't
will.
add real cheese, so
well, here's the thing: we will have a vegan mac and cheese
perfect.
set up, and the mac and cheese I usually get down with is unbelievable. It's
I
like
did-
It'll probably send me to the hospital. But
Toine, I think.
no,
Toine, I think
no,
this is for
it
you.
will send you to sleep for about 18 hours.
This
You're
is
gonna
for
sleep good.
oh
This
yeah,
is me, Simba.
yeah.
Real men pick yams over the turkey, sir. Always get the yams
No.
over the turkey. my
You should have
guy.
been like,
There.
real man eat yams, no turkey.
Come on now, bro. You gotta get it together.
Oh man.
Food. right?
Anything else y'all want to close this with?
Yeah. whoever eats
Don't judge me.
vegan
It's not my fault I
food-
can't eat cheese. I'm not like vegan because like yay animals. Okay, I can't eat it.
I mean, what about like that? What's the thing called? Lactate or something? Doesn't that help?
No,
No, it tastes like
No.
garbage.
that doesn't do anything for me.
Mm.
I honestly think that's like a placebo thing. I actually don't believe that's real.
So do you believe Canada's real? Oh no, you do. Never mind.
I've been there several times.
Some people-
despite
some
what
people-
Michael Christian says about me being not
Yeah, you're
allowed
not gonna-
in.
You're
So
not
you
going to be
don't-
allowed
you,
in.
You don't believe in like medicine, but you believe in like zodiac signs and shit.
I believe in medicine. Lactate's not my doctor. My family.
like this.
Okay,
This
my
is the
nurse
stuff you
doctor.
believe in.
How did you have that ready to go?
What is that?
I had a
Leo
feeling that
symbol, what is that?
I thought
That's a
that there
lion.
was-
That's not a lion.
That's the Leo. What do you think I wear on my necklace every freaking second of every day? That's the Leo. symbol.
Ma'am, I usually
That's
try.
it.
I usually try to be respectful. I'm usually looking at your face. So I mean, like,
That's a
before you get me canceled for saying, "Oh, you're looking right here. Don't you see this?" Yeah, I'm not falling for that trap. I'm done here, man.
No, I don't
God.
believe in those pills. That's what I'm trying to tell all y'all.
It's literally what I just said.
Shout out to you, sir.
Yeah, he's having himself a good day.
Who?
What's wrong with me? What did I do?
Oh, I almost clicked the wrong comment.
Like earlier, you mean?
Okay.
All right, we are gonna close this out here.
Probably the best.
We'll see what happens on Saturday. I will be
Yeah, let's
watching
end this
anxiously.
one.
Michael, we talked about this before offline.
Man, that's getting clipped.
Okay, good night, y'all. Thank you for letting me host. We missed
me
Royal
find
already, but
the,
we'll be
let
back
me-
soon.
White meat for
let's get
life.
Oh my God, Simba, do you have the video? Play the video, Simba.
Get him.
Oh my
He's
God.
pulling up too many Leo symbols just that happen to be in the folder already. Oh, that's good.
I didn't make that. That's been in here. All right.
I know, yeah.
There you go.
We gonna let the band deal with this.
Jimmy Butler puts the Heat back up by 1. Adebayo flipping it up and in. Tyler Hero from way downtown. Fantastic play for the first time All-Star. Hero for 3. Yes!
This guy.
That's a tough shot. And the Heat lead by 5.
Led the league in blocks last year, 4th this year.